Joined now by quarterback Russell Wilson of your Seattle Seahawks. Hey, Russ. How's it going?
Great. How you guys been?
Good. I have to be honest, is it intimidating to sit across from like a 5-star recruit? I know you're an NFL quarterback.
I was a 2-star guy. I had this guy, Jake. The funny thing is he always brags about it, too.
That doesn't shock me at all.
No.
He still says go Spartans just randomly.
He got lucky in a shoot around with me one day, and he still talks about it. He talks about it to my kids, which is inappropriate.
Well, that's really messed up, Jake.
I wouldn't call it luck. I'd call it pure skill because it's happened more than once. But, you got to take your wins when you can. Not all of us, can be franchise quarterbacks in the league and be one of 32 and be in the NFL for 10 years. Russ, how's that feel, man? I mean, 10 years in the league, bro. Like, what does that mean to you? And what does year 10 mean to you?
Well, first of all, I'm not going to let slide what you just said about the shoot-arounds.
Never forget that.
So I have that in my pocket. But to be in year 10, it feels like year 1 for me. I've been saying that quite a bit to the performance team and stuff like that. And the reality for me is that it feels like it's just the beginning. It feels like I'm just getting started. And I think for me, I've had a great career so far, but so far doesn't mean anything yet. And my goals, the things that I wrote down when I was first coming into the league, I never forget. I was on a plane, flying back from Denver Broncos visit, and I just got to say hello to Peyton Manning, and he was the only one in the locker room, and I had gone to Manning Passing Academy before, and he had remembered me. Don't I know you from somewhere? And I said, yeah. He's like, you were at my camp, and you're the quarterback at NC State and Wisconsin, and all that stuff. And I said to myself in that moment, as he had his notes out and he had everything prepared and everything else, and it was just him, he just signed with the Broncos, I said to myself that I'm going to go as far as I want to go. And I started writing out my goals of what those would look like. I said that, I wanted to play at least 12 years. I want to be able to win 3 Super Bowls and some other things I wrote down. And so, we got some things to check off the list still. And I think that for me, I feel better than ever. I've been training like crazy, as you know, and I've been working my tail off. My mind's more clear than ever. Shane and I have been studying like crazy. I've been working my tail off all offseason on the plays and the concepts and everything. I feel in command of everything I want to do. The guys look great. They look tremendous, ready to play. And so we feel very confident in what we can do. And I feel more confident in myself more than ever. And I've always felt like that. I've always felt like, for me, let's hand me the ball and let's go to work, and let's play ball. So that's what I love most. I love the process. Some people don't like the process.
Yeah.
I don't mind the tough times. I don't mind the hard work. I don't mind the adversity. I don't mind that stuff. I thrive in it.
Yeah. Can you talk about the process? Because there's a lot of people that throw that out there, right? Talk to a lot of kids that I work with about the lonely work and those things, and you're one of the prime examples of that, of willing to do the lonely work, willing to do all the work that a lot of people aren't willing to do. But you mentioned the process. What is that process for you, and how do you continue to try and keep improving that process every single year?
Well, I think the process is surrounded around a few things: mind, body, soul. The first thing I want to take care of is my mind. Making sure that I'm getting all of everything that I'm seeing, reading, hearing, every book that I read. I read Tim Grover's Winning. I listen, obviously, my scriptures and stuff like that, and just filling my spirit up, my mind, with the right things, saying the right things. I think language is so key. How you say things, how we're working on it, and so there's always tough times. But I think the great players, the people who change the game, they're able to, really dominate the language and just be truthful too, and let's go do it. And so I don't fear that stuff. I think my mind's my greatest strength. I think the body part of it, for me, it's really critical because, for me, as I go into year 10, I want to feel better than ever. So for me, I've really worked on nutrition. I've really worked on, obviously, treatment. As I get treated every day. I call it prehab work. It's not just you go and every morning I'm up by 4:45. I'm already training by 5 in the off season. There's no days off. There's no such thing. And I think that for me, what people don't understand about me is that I'm very fortunate to be able to do a lot of things, and God's given me a lot of ability and a lot of opportunity on the field, but also off the field. But the number one thing for me is obviously my faith and my family. But the number two thing, is the work.
Yeah.
Is the work, the lifestyle of the work. You know, I thoroughly enjoy that part, and I always do that first. I may just do it before you're up, you know, and that's just the reality. You know, the work's already done, and I'm still doing more while you're just getting up. So, you know, I think for me, that's just my mindset. I don't sleep much. I don't need much sleep. I get my 4 to 5 hours quality sleep.
That's insane.
Yeah, I get 4 to 5, but it's quality sleep. You know, and
take a lesson out of that.
yeah, and then I think the soul part is this. The soul part's the balance, a balance of, you know, to play at the highest level, to be one of the best people in the world at what you do, all that. There's a lot of pressure that can be added onto you if you allow it, and you can either look at it as pressure or you can look at it as an opportunity. And I think for me, I've been gifted with an amazing opportunity to serve and give back and to do what I get to do. So the soul part of it for me is the Children's Hospital, is the community, is my kids, is my wife, is those intimate moments, you know, those one-on-one moments that, you know, sometimes are teardroppers, but they're worth it, you know. So I think really being able to capture the soul part of it's been really important for me. So the mind, body, soul I take care of, and I'm intentional. I don't waste time. One pet peeve of mine is wasting time.
Yep.
I don't want to waste time. I don't want to waste any energy. None of that. I'm going to use everything I have, and you know, and I think that's where, you know, I've been fortunate to be where I am today.
Can I ask kind of an uncomfortable question? I mean, you talk about the process, about kind of treating so much of the preparation as mental preparation and kind of honestly emotional preparation. When you're coming off the second half you did last year, it's like an uncharacteristic Russ that I feel like you probably hadn't seen before, we hadn't seen before. And you know it's not reflective of who you are, but I'm so fascinated by the ability and what it takes to be able to go into the next season. So what's that for you? I mean, do you just say, I'm wiping my hands clean, I'm done, I'm not going to have a season like that? Do you pour over the tape? Like, what's your process like with something like that?
You know, what's interesting is that, like, I just go to the truth. You know, I know who I am. It's not that complicated. You know, I don't get persuaded. You know, I don't get persuaded in the midst of a game. I don't get persuaded outside the game. I don't get persuaded by that, you know, by negativity. You know, I think that more than anything else, you know, I think about what I've been able to do throughout my whole career. You know, and even the first half, you know, of the season, you know, it's like, you know, for me, that's who I am. You know, the numbers show. You know, that's just reality. That's just the truth. So for me, you know, I dive into that more, and you know, I think that there's a lot of factors. You know, there's a lot of things. You know, you battle through them, and at the end of the day, my job is to try to do everything I can to help the team win and battle through it. And sometimes you got to go for it. You know, sometimes, you know, to win you got to go for it. And sometimes things are going to work out, sometimes they don't. And sometimes, you know, more times than not, I know it's going to work out. And so for me, that's just kind of been my mentality always. You know, I think that, you know, as well as to play this position, to be any good, you got to have amnesia. I've always said that, but you got to be able to forget anything, good or bad. I don't think about anything good or bad. I just think about right now, in the moment, the situation that I'm in. Okay, here we go. How am I going to handle this one? How am I going to handle this play, this moment, this day? And that's always been my philosophy. It's always been my thought process. You know, and so, you know, even though it didn't end the way we wanted it to or what we hoped for, you know, I think back to, you know, we had to win the games early. We had to find ways. You know, we had to go for it. You know, and so I think the same mentality at the end of the season, and it just didn't work out. The ball bounced a different way every once in a while. You know, so, you know, you can't play this game scared. You know, that's one thing I'm definitely not doing.
Now, we were talking about this, but while we're talking about, you know, Russ, 10 years in the league, rookie Russ and kind of grown-up Russ a little bit different, because rookie Russ could spend all day in the gym, all day working on this off-season. Grown-up Russ, you got 3 kids now. You've got birthday parties to plan. I mean, what's it like doing this process when you've also got a family that has changed in 10 years? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's been a blessing to have family and kids, you know, but they also understand.
Yeah.
They understand what it takes. You know, my wife understands. Sierra understands. She's who she is. So, you know, when I'm, you know, training in the barn and working my butt off at 5 o'clock in the morning till 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, they know Dad's down there. You know, that's just what it is. And they come down, they enjoy, and they have fun too, and you know, and all that. But that's just part of the lifestyle. And that's who I am. You know, I don't. You know, a lot of people have other hobbies. You know, like people have hobbies like, you know, video games or whatever it may be. My hobby, I have a few hobbies. Number one is winning. Number two is I love business. I love being that stimulates my mind, right? And I would say number three is just traveling with my family. To be able to do that, something that I love. I love seeing the world, places I never got to see because we didn't have enough to go see it. So to be able to do that with my kids and still bring my performance team with me when I do travel and still get my workout in Tuscany at 5 o'clock in the morning, that's what we're going to do. There is no other way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Russ, it's funny because, been working with you for, it's 4 years now. I think it's 4 or 5 now.
Feels like a lot longer.
It does. It does.
Well, it's because we play together, too.
I know, it is.
Yeah.
But every year I come on the show and I talk to everybody about your process and about the off season and what you're doing. And I mean, you can testify to this. I say this is the best off season yet. And I tell everybody that I truly mean it. Well, Jake, you said that last year. Well, no, I really mean it this year. Like, this is the best one yet.
It should be better every year.
How do you find legitimately a way to better your process every single year? Because that's something you've legitimately done. And this year, there was a lot of changes that you made, and the determination to take it as year one. What has that process been like for you?
Well, every year should grow. If we're not growing, we're dying in a way. So for me, it's every year I've learned something new. Every year I've had to adjust. Every year there's new circumstances. Every year, there's something else going on in the world. COVID. How are we going to win COVID? Well, I built a barn where it has a conference room and has, the weight room and everything, hot tub, cold tub down to the field. Like, because I also know that this is my lifestyle. This is what I want to do. But I can also be around my kids. They're in the house. They're around. So I get to get all of that experience at the same time, but still put all the work in. Mm-hmm. So I think for me, I woke up this off season. It was late February, and I couldn't sleep at all. No, Stace, I normally don't sleep much. Like I said,
I believe it.
I sleep 4 or 5 hours. I was tossing and turning, and C asked me, "Are you all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, go back to bed." And so, anyways, I was sitting up and I was watching Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant videos, and I just kept watching it over and over and over again. And I started thinking about what winning looks like, what success looks like, and sometimes it's not always pretty. It's not always perfected. It's not every, but it takes guts, it takes grit, it takes all that. And so, I was sitting there, I was thinking about, where I had already kind of processed it in my head, at the Super Bowl and after the Super Bowl. I was thinking like, I want to be able to go into year one again, all over again. Because like really, it's year 10. I want to play 20 years. It felt like good math almost.
Yeah, second half of your career here.
Yeah. Maybe just a third. But anyway, so as I was sitting there thinking about it all, I said to myself, and I've always said this to other kids and young kids, I was like, if you want to be great, go find what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to be the best ever, go find what it looks like. So I started thinking, I was watching Michael Jordan, I was watching Kobe Bryant videos, and I was watching all these shark videos. I was watching, because like Kobe Bryant loves sharks, like true story. I was watching all these different things, and as I was sitting there, I was thinking about, well, who helped get them there? Obviously them, their work ethic. But I started thinking about, who trained them and all stuff. And I hit up Tim Grover, mm-hmm. and we started talking right away. This is at 3:02 in the morning. I never forget, literally at 3 o'clock in the morning. And we connected right then, and we said, hey, let's get together. Let's try this thing out. And at the same time, I called my old high school strength coach. Coach Will O'Brien from Virginia, who was my high school strength coach my junior, senior year. And I knew I was getting ready to go to college, and it was like, okay, I'm going to get ready, and we won state championships that year. Jake, sorry, I would have locked down anybody you had thrown out there. But anyways, I don't know, Kasem's pretty good. But anyways, going back to what I was saying is that for me, I wanted to go back to year one. I wanted to feel like I was super, super, at my youth again. Not just young, but like literally at my youth, at my childhood. Like I want to feel like that. Like how do I renew my mind, my body, my spirit like that? And And so that's where my mind started. I obviously have Decker, I have Amy, my PT, you know, and the rest of the team. It was great, you know, and they've been amazing. And so let's bring somebody who, when I think about longevity, who's been around longevity, meaning, you know, Tim Grover. And so he came in and we started working right away. The rest of the team, and we brought chaos to the table. It was great, you know. So it's been a great off season. And the great part is, you know, they don't build statues, you know, after critics. You know, you got to do the work. You know, and so I don't really care about the critics. I don't really care about the people who praise you too, because they'll love you one day and they'll hate you the next. And so for me, I just stay focused on the task and just stay focused on what I know I'm going to do and what we're going to do, and that's it.
Russ, we've got to let you go here. You got lots of other things to do. Just want to ask you one question before you go. There's a lot of excitement about the new offense. There's a lot of excitement about what you guys are going to do. In one word, I know this is hard, but in one word, as you leave, how would you describe what this offense is going to be like here? He's always good with this stuff.
Dynamic.
Okay.
That's a good one.
All right. Dynamic. Okay. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, you know, some other words, you know. But
No.
We'll talk about them later.
Yeah, we'll have other times to talk about
We've
it.
kept you late. We do appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah,
we know
no,
you're
it's
on a
been
tight
great.
schedule.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. He is Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson.
appreciate you guys. Go Hawks.